At first glimpse, it may seem like any other rural Thailand township. With a population of just over 28,000 and its own fair share of local attractions, which include the popular picnic spot Pu Khao Phai Pradong, which contains rare volcanic crater remnants, 297 steps, giant golden Buddha and wonderful scenic viewpoints, Buriram seems somewhat unremarkable. However, throw in a little horsepower and 2 state-of-the-art sporting stadiums and we have a whole new ball game. Buriram in Thailand's northeast is rapidly becoming Thailand's premier sporting destination. The city of happiness, already home to one of the country's most popular football teams, Buriram United, which relocated there in late 2010. The Thunder Castle can cope with 32,000 odd screaming fans. The town is also now home to a world-class motor racing track. Propelling Thailand onto the international race circuit for the very first time and created to the highest FIA and FIM standards, the Chang International Circuit is a ripper. Building commenced in March of 2013 and the track opened officially in October 2014 at a cost of 2 billion baht or 38 million pounds. It has an attendance capacity of 50,000. The track is 4.5 kilometres in length, there are 12 turns, and to this date the track record set by Super GT is 1 minute 25.44 seconds. As part of the Thailand Super Series, we were fortunate enough to be granted behind-the-scenes access and spend some time with long-time racing driver and key player in his class, Mr. Thomas Raldorf from Denmark. Now, if like me you're curious to know exactly what happens behind the scenes on race day, then stay tuned as we take you deep into the pits and provide you with a windscreen wiper viewpoint of all the action. As preparations begin to hit top gear prior to Thomas's first race and the pretties busily go about their own important preparations, last-minute discussions and tactical plans are discussed by all race participants and sundry. Thomas gives us an insight as to how a driver feels close to an event.
The car is a Honda City. It's a standard production car like you can buy on the roads, but after that we take it in and we strip it completely down, and then we full spot weld the whole body and put in a roll cage and put a lot of racing parts on it, and then it becomes a full-blooded race car. Only a 1500cc engine, but it's been ported with we flow test the cylinder here to make sure we get as much power as possible out of it. But everything else is standard in the engine, completely standard. Well, you're always very excited. You got the adrenaline pumping, but you always have a general idea what you want to do, but you never really know what's going to happen until you come to the first corner, and then you have to adjust there. So this is a tense period of the race.
On the grid, just prior to the start of the 11-lap event, the tension is palpable, as last-minute photo opportunities are well and truly taken advantage of, as some of these cars will not be in the same condition following the race. Thomas in car number 29, following the problems in qualifying starting from grid position 8, will be happy with a top 5 finish, which is important in order to take advantage of the reverse finish order for tomorrow's event, where the top 5 finishes are assisted by the rules of racing. For example, 5th is promoted to pole position, 4th to 2nd on the grid, the winner back to 5th, and so on, in order to keep racing fair and competitive. After a warm-up lap, all was in readiness. After the 4th lap, Thomas has improved his position to 6th. A dominant display by the Japanese driver in 1st, whilst 3rd, 4th and 5th positions are all up for grabs in a fierce battle. Thomas in the end missing 4th spot by a nose.
I think 30 centimeters, 40 centimeters between us when you cross the line, but unfortunately I was 5th. We switched positions many times. Yes. But it was fair racing, it was a good game, it was good fun. As a driver for myself, I like the fact that it's man and machine against man and machine, and and it's me and my machine that's going to try and outdo him and his machine, and that's good fun. But then you just have to remember the machine that I have is made by a group of people, and it all becomes a teamwork. And without a proper machine, I can't do my thing on the track. So all the guys behind the car, they're actually the heroes of the race. It's a fantastic track to drive. Okay, for the 1500cc cars, it's a little bit underpowered because it's built as a Formula 1 circuit. It's FIA Grade 1. The only thing that they need to do to be able to have Formula 1 races here is improve the roadside side, build more hotels, but the actual circuit is up to the Formula 1 spec.
The pickup trucks did battle in the following event, whilst I caught up with another driver in a different class, one of Thomas's friendly rivals.
I think Buriram is a world-class facility. I mean, what more can you say? It's a bit far away from Bangkok. But for the rest, track-wise, facility-wise, paddock-wise, pit-wise, but mainly the track, it's a gorgeous track. And what it does, because you got some high-speed sections, and it got a very technical infield. So what makes it nice, it balances it out. If you have a very quick car on the straight, you can gain, but you lose in the infield. If you're technical, a good driver, you maybe lose out on the long, fast parts, but you can get back in it. So it keeps the racing very nice, very entertaining. It's very easy to make a mistake. And it's very challenging for a driver, because it's like, you do the fast section and then you get the technical section, which is fine in the beginning, but once you get tired, you really got to keep your wits together, because otherwise you're going to lose it out. We are reaching, the fastest cars in our group do 280 km per hour. And that just goes to show the second fastest is 272. We are third fastest at 258. So there's quite a big gap in speed. But you look at the lap times, they're equal.
Day 2, and having finished 5th in yesterday's event, Thomas has the pole position today. An ideal starting point if able to be taken advantage of. So we're on the grid here just minutes from the start of today's race, and Thomas has managed to secure pole position. Let's catch up with the man himself and see how he's feeling. Thomas, starting from pole today, it's so important to secure a good start, huh?
It's very important to be as far forward as possible. So pole is obviously the best position, but it also puts a lot of pressure on you, because you don't know what's going on behind, and everyone is going to try and attack you in every corner for the first lap. So it's going to be interesting.
I imagine your eyes are more on what's behind you than in front of you for the first couple of laps, hey?
Yeah, you try to stop any attack that they have, and it's very difficult because all cars are equal and they're good drivers. So we try our best.
Yeah, well, congratulations on securing pole, and we wish you all the best for today's race.
Thank you.
Good on you, mate. Good luck. Another captivating event as keenly contested as ever. Thomas gave up his early lead, dropping back to 4th, before eventually regaining 3rd position. The Japanese driver starting from 5th today, again proving too good. We caught up with Thomas straight after his 3rd placed effort.
I got a fairly good start, but not as good as the guy in 2nd, and that made him come up on the inside, and I thought I kept my foot in it, but not enough, and they had more speed out to the straight, so I struggled at the end of the straight with people trying to overtake me, and instead of trying to chase him, I was having to block everywhere. And then the Japanese driver is a very good driver.
Yes.
He did a maneuver that no one else does.
He started from 4th?
5th. But
because he won yesterday.
He came up on the inside, on the outside in turn 4. There's generally not a possibility to do it, wow. But rules stipulate I have to give him room, and I did.
Are you happy with that result?
As happy as can be. You're never happy being 3rd. That's the second loser, right? But in general, we got the most out of it, that bad qualifying, I think. So, and my poor start from pole, which I didn't utilize properly.
Yeah.
But that's how it goes. Yeah, the problem is when you push as hard as I do, you make the tires go too hot, and the car start to understeer, and I was almost a second slower per lap in the end because the car just wouldn't turn. It was just understeering everywhere. That was why I was struggling to catch up to him. So, but I guess it's the name of the game. It's the same for everyone else.
Yeah. Exciting race. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Trophy presentations concluded proceedings with all those finishing in the top 3, mounting the podium and presented with their respective awards. The tremendous hard-working team's efforts acknowledged here, thus signifying the end to a highly successful event. It is the hope that in the future, Buriram can host a major world event. As this circuit attracts further exposure and attention on the world circuit, that prospect seems highly likely in the not too distant future.